For this week and next week, two extra stocks, stocks that I have dubbed stocks that can change your life. It all comes from a comment that Henry Jennings from Markets Today made about a stock the week before last, where he said, look, Archer Materials it was, he said, this could be a stock that changes your life. And I thought, what a good theme. Makes you think. Carl Capolingua from Think Markets is with us, speaking of thinking, and also Jason McIntosh from Motion Trader. Gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for taking the challenge up in terms of thinking. Makes you think, Carl, doesn't it? As one stock that could change your life over the next 5 years financially. And I thought it was fascinating. We're getting some great suggestion from the panels. What's yours?
Yeah, look, I think, good afternoon, Koshi, I should say. Yeah, I think it's an exciting idea, and you're always trying to find that one stock in your portfolio that's going to be the 10 bagger or 20 bagger or whatever it is. And I would suggest at this stage that viewers be sensible with these life-changing stocks and allocate a sensible amount of their portfolio to that stock. So it's part of your portfolio. It's risk money, but you're hoping that it's going to have an extraordinary return. So the one I'm looking at today is called Neometals, and ticker code is NMT. And I've thought about this topic for a while since your producer said that we were going to do it. And I thought, okay, well, what's going to be life-changing over the next sort of 10, 15, even 20 years? And it's hard not to gravitate towards that sort of, electric vehicle, electric battery sort of space. And I started thinking, well, it's some lithium producers. And I thought about this one here, which is tackling it from a different angle. So we know that we're going to have an explosion potentially of electric vehicles over the next 10 to 15 years. Everybody's predicting that, and therefore, draw the line back, you need minerals to produce the batteries, the motors, and the vehicles themselves. Okay, get it, tick, tick, tick. Okay, well, these guys are less about finding the minerals and more about recycling the batteries. So if you do have this giant explosion in electric vehicle batteries, well, these batteries don't last forever, Koshi. At some stage, they go kaput, and they're full of some pretty nasty stuff, A, and B, this stuff you actually can recycle, so you can use it to build the next battery and the next battery and so on. So these guys are going for the recycling angle. It's a slightly longer term view. They do have other technologies that are aimed at making the batteries as well. So I guess they're sort of making the batteries and then recycling the batteries. They've got a pilot plant up and running in Germany, a joint venture over there. They're looking, they're taking batteries as we speak from a number of big battery recyclers and manufacturers, and they're ripping out the bits. They recover about 90% of the good stuff to then use in new batteries, and looking to, I guess, prove the process. It's their own patented technology. It's quite unique, a very low environmental footprint, so it ticks all the green boxes as well. And yeah, look, I mean, it's a longer term view. They're not making any money right now, and that's probably a few years away. But market cap's probably at that point where it's still pretty attractive. A similar company went for about $1 billion US. Not long ago in one of those SPACs, one of those special purpose acquisition vehicles, and these guys are capped at only 200 million Australian. So if you want to bridge the gap, there's some upside there. So
excellent. Jason McIntosh from Motion Trader, how are you, mate? Thank you for joining us. What's a stock that you think could change our life?
Oh, look, I reckon this is a great idea. This part of the segment. It's because look, this is really a big part of what I do. Like, I use momentum to identify stocks which otherwise you may have struggled to have found. And the thing with momentum is really opportunity's calling card. And when you look behind the momentum of the stock and you look what are the reasons, what's driving it, you find some really, really interesting stories. And so I've got one today. It's a company called Kleos Space. Now, Kleos is its ticker code is KSS. Now it's an emerging player in the space industry, and what they're doing is they're using clusters of satellites to collect radio frequency data across maritime areas, and then it's using that data to detect to detect and geolocate illegal and hidden activities. So these are things like, drug and people smuggling, illegal fishing, border breaches. So it's got broad uses within defence, security, the maritime intelligence, even search and rescue could be in there. And so look, what they've done is they launched an initial cluster of 4 satellites in November last year. Yeah. And the company's planning to launch 2 additional clusters. So one is scheduled for sometime around now, mid this year. And then they've got another one planned for late this year. And so look, that'll give them a total of 12 satellites. And over time, they're targeting a constellation of up to 20 satellite clusters. So the company says that every time they send a cluster of satellites up into orbit, that increases the amount of intelligence data that they can collect and then on sell. And the data becomes more valuable because it's more in depth. So look, they're saying they've got strong interest from naval, coast guard, defence, the border patrol agencies. And they're targeting 60 active, I think it's actually 50 active subscribers by year end, pipeline of 160 that they're currently targeting. And look, the opportunity here is huge. So this whole geospatial area, it's forecast to grow to something like 550 billion by 2025. And Kleos Space, well, they've only got a market cap of 150 million. So yeah, it's tiny. It's a tiny company compared to this global addressable market. And it's some really good technology that they've got. So they're currently transitioning to operational status. They're expecting revenues of $7 million this in the June quarter. And look, this is a company which could do really well over the next 5 years. It's one of those ones, 10 bag of potential. But you never know. Risk management, and but it's one of those out of the bag ideas.
Two great suggestions, Neometals and Kleos Space, to kick us off today. And as Carl was saying, you got to keep it in perspective. But hey, if you have a portfolio, there's that sort of 1 or 2 that you can have a bit of fun with that could change your life.